And so just prepared a very short presentation for you. And this presentation is based on many years of trading and the problems that I've faced in the past and occasionally still do. I'm not a robot, unlike these three guys who are sitting in front of their laptops. I do make mistakes. I still make mistakes occasionally, and made a mistake today, which I'll go through. The reason why I decided to talk about this is because there's so much stuff out there about one of these fantastic traders will have you believe they're making pockets and pockets of money every day and send out emails and blogging and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, a lot of us, when we sit in front of our PCs and we do our best to protect our capital and so on, but we make mistakes. And so I thought it was good to sort of air the sort of experiences that I've had and maybe share some of the experiences you've had and talk about what those issues are and how I overcame them and how you might want to try and overcome them. But at the end of the day, I picked this little shot because I thought this was, remove your emotion. That's one of the basis of mistakes that we can make. We listen to noise. I love it when the markets are just trending up, and you get all this, and you read Market Watch and CNBC and all the rest of it, and they're talking about the next recession. And so, if you're new to this or easily distracted, which I'm easily distracted at times, all the some news is just a lot of rubbish. And traders, you get some experienced traders saying this is a tough market to trade. Well, it's as tough as you want to make it, really. So anyway, let's just go through some of the issues I've got. I haven't done a slide presentation. This is the only slide I've got for you. So it's going to be hands-on, chatting about the reality of engaging this market and competing against algorithms. Now, we literally are competing against PC powers, algorithms that the guys have built. So let's talk about bottom fishing and top fishing. This is a classic for me, absolute classic. Let me just call up to come out of this a second. And I've traded. One of the mistakes I can sometimes make is bottom fishing and top fishing. And I was bottom fishing on this today. I made money on it. Got a screenshot of my account somewhere. I'll go and grab that in a second. I did make money out of this gas, but I genuinely thought that this was going to push up significantly higher. Let's look at the 15-minute chart. Just kill this a second. And so I talk about where I traded and how I handle it. So to me, this 4-hour chart, let's look at a 3-hour. We had this fantastic move up here. It's a good cyclical commodity. Pushed up really nicely. We got we just gradually ground our way up and broke up. Little pullback. All these little pullbacks were bought here. And then we sat really high last week. I didn't trade it last week. But once we got this little push up here and we had all this support down here, I thought we were going to hold this. We gapped down. I don't think this doesn't show gaps. I traded this in my futures account. But anyway, it gapped down from last night. So we had in the futures account, we had a big round number of 2.6. What you see here is not reflected in the futures. Actually, let me show a screenshot. I will go and grab the screenshots because I've got a screenshot of this. It's on my desktop. Hang on. This is what I traded in gas on my futures account. So I bought around about 2.58, sold it into 6 because there's the gap. So we gapped down last night, and then we pushed up in towards the gap, sold it at the big round number 2.6, and then basically these were my targets. So I was looking for the actual gap fill was up here about 2.62. So I was looking for these targets, but once I did get out of here, was going to buy back, and then I didn't get a buy. Unfortunately, I didn't get a buy signal, so I got all in down at 2.58, all out at 6, and then just left it because it. In the past, what I would have done is sat there with a full position, possibly moved my stop up, and then got stopped out. But one of the things I was doing is just bottom and top fishing. Let's have a look at what else I'm going to show you. So, and yet the reason why I was annoyed myself is because I've traded the Dow, I've traded oil, but I wasted. The reason why I was annoyed, and to me it was a mistake. The reason why it's a mistake because there are much better markets to trade in, and I've not, whilst I've made profits in oil and Dow, I've not made as much because I've wasted time on bottom fishing on gas. The reason, and typically this is the time of year when it does tend to run out of steam. But good trades I've done is the Dow. So what I've done here is marked off this key area of this is oil, sorry, 56.85. If you throw, this is a quick hot tip here, if you throw a fib on that level and the overnight or the previous session I should say, you can see this 56.40 was really good support. And we hit this target up here, 57.22, and we're still grinding higher here, but not by a lot. So yeah, it's a good gap strategy. If we saw some movement up here, but then so into the open, into the US Open, we dipped, we looked weak, but I was quite happy to buy this area here, and then traded it up, and then left it. And that's exactly what I did in the Dow. Now that's not the main strategy we actually employ in my trading room. It's certainly a key area. You don't see that sort of clean gap fill that often. It's a particularly good volatile day, lots of volume, and so that was easier to trade. But what we normally do is just mark off the open and trade it accordingly. Right, let's go back to the problems. Hesitating. Let's talk about how hesitating is a key one. One of the things you can do is if you're looking at too many markets, or you're looking at maybe one of the problems I had today was I was trading the DAX, got stopped out on the DAX, and it dropped quite hard. So when it came to trading the Dow, I sort of pictured the Dow being as bearish as the DAX. And of course, they're completely different characteristics, completely different animals. So I quickly realized that once I'd done my analysis that the Dow was finding volumes, finding buyers. So I managed to sort of get that out of my head and concentrate on the Dow. But certainly by trading, by listening to the noise in the DAX and getting distracted on a market that didn't have the volatility that I need, I didn't maximize my profits in the Dow. Done well, but didn't maximize. Not enough preparation. That's a very now that's I like to think that's not the case now. If anything, I do too much preparation. I certainly don't overanalyze, but I spend a decent amount of time preparing every day. In the past, I would have just opened up my account, waited till the markets open, and jumped in. And would you believe it? I wasn't making decent profits and giving too many profits back. And that's one that's not on here. Over trading, it should be on here as well. That was a classic of mine. The less you trade, normally the more you make. If you've done enough preparation and you've got a system that works and you stick to, then you shouldn't be over trading and you should be making consistent profits. So once I got over my mistakes, I just concentrated on the Dow and plugged away and did about 2 or 3 trades on that and came away with decent money. Chasing the market, again, this is I do not do this now. I do not like, on occasions I do miss very, very bullish moves because I do not like buying high. I do not like shorting lows, but it's rare. I do have mechanisms to cope with markets that are breaking up, where high entries are legitimate. But if you haven't got a specific method of getting in on a high market or a specific method of shorting a low market, then be very, very careful. Do not chase the market. It's very rarely worth chasing the market. Very rare. Trading in doldrums, that comes back to over trading. Now, if you are in Europe and you're looking at the London Open, the temptation that I used to have was to trade, way past the peak periods and give profits back in when most of the institutions have walked away and finished their trading and the volumes had dropped off. So the bottom line is, in all of this, is you've got to have, excuse me one second. That's better, losing my voice there. The overriding issue with this, and the real sort of important step forward that I made quite a long time ago now, was to spend a long time. We've got 2 options: either spend a long time developing a system that you like and works, i.e. hours and hours and hours of back testing, as the only way, there's no short circuit, or buy into a system that has proven itself to provide winning trades, consistent winning trades, and absolutely stick to it. So don't listen to noise, don't trade in the doldrums, don't chase the market. Have a system that enables you to do the same thing every day and expect the same results. And if you find yourself in a situation, these systems don't work every single day. You've got to have a system that works the majority of the time, and there will be occasions, there will be days when that does not work. So you have to take that into account. You have to prepare for that. That has to be part of your system as well. We have methods for deciding days that is low probability. There are certain days of the year where we don't even open our trading accounts, and there are certain, very rare, but there are days where we either trade a lot less or don't trade at all if the markets are not doing what we want them to do. So all of these aspects, particularly hesitating, I know from experience, sometimes the best trades don't look right, they don't feel right. Well, as long as you're trading to a specific method, don't hesitate, be a conviction trader and always take those trades. And so if I have an entry that doesn't work, as long as it's an entry that has triggered in the way that I need to trade, that sticks to my rules. If I get stopped out, then I'm happy. I'll walk away, reevaluate, take a break, and then let the markets, give the market more time to set up. So you can cut out hesitating by having a few simple rules. What should also be on here is too many rules. If you've got too many things to look at, too many rules. If you've got too much to look at, you're doing too much, checking too many markets, listening to the news, listening to CNBC, whatever it is, or Bloomberg's, not concentrating, not sticking to your rules, you haven't done enough preparation, then you're going to get messed up. And once you start losing trades, your trading psychology takes a big sideways knock, and it's hard. If you're damaged, if your trading mind is damaged, then it's much, much harder to come back from that, particularly if you're trading on your own, which is why our trading room is really good and has some veteran traders in it. So let's go back to the markets today for one moment. Now, what's your experience? Have you guys traded for long? You relatively inexperienced? Are you very experienced or intermediate? Okay, hang on. Intermediate, okay. But I mean, how many of you actually, you're intermediate as well? Okay, 2 intermediates. Now, do you have a very specific rules-based system? Do you have very simple, specific rules that you trade with? A lot of traders don't. You do, okay. You think so? That's not a committed answer. So I would be very careful about your trading if you're not able to commit and say you have a set of rules. Are you profitable? Are you consistent? Are you consistent traders? No, okay. Well, yeah, as you know, the brokers, you trade small position size. That's another one actually. That should be on the list. Position sizing. What was I going to say? Sorry, I've just lost my line of thought for a minute. Yeah, so one of the things that we trade with is an anchor system. Now, the anchor system is very, very simple. I can't describe it here because it's part of a program that people pay for. So unfortunately, I can't give this away free. But what basically it's a chart in a bigger time frame that has very specific measured levels in it, and if we are holding those measured levels, then we buy. If we are selling at those measured levels, then we will sell, then we will short. So this anchor is key to what we do, and we use it in everything we trade. We're interested in momentum markets, so we want markets with good volume. Now, I personally don't think Forex fulfills this for me. I don't like trading Forex. I mean, let's have a look at the pound today. Let's compare it with the pound. So this is the oil. This is Dow. Let's take that off. and this is pound US dollar. That's rubbish to me. I mean, it is tradable. I mean, to say it's not tradable is just plain wrong. I mean, you could argue that every market is tradable. It's just that it's not as clean. Here's the euro. Very, very similar. There's the pound yen. That's better. So we saw a decent drop at 11 o'clock from 140 to 139.5. But that, I mean, if you compare that chart to that chart, you know, once this initial open is set, then I think you've got clear parameters as to how you can enter that trade. And I think that's really, really important. I used to trade, so the gas is still rubbish. It's still poor. I can't believe I've made a profit out of this. It's only by using the futures account and looking at the volume that was coming in and just taking it off at resistance, I managed to get a small move out of it. But that's rubbish. It's not too dissimilar from that pound. So the reason I got over the problems of bottom fishing and top fishing, over trading, listening to too much noise. I got over all of that by having a really, really good tight anchor system. Once that I started using that anchor system, that revolutionized my trading. It took me many, many months, many hundreds of hours of back testing and trading it and refining it until it worked. But once I got that, then that was my savior. And that's what we do in the live training room. Everybody comes into the live training room and prepares for the market exactly the same way. We all know what we're looking for, and we've got very set criteria for taking a trade, and so it's a really good room. Anything you want to talk about? Any other issues that you've got with your trading? Here I am busy just chatting away. I've not really allowed you to contribute. Could put the microphone on if that helps. Please go on. Okay. Yeah, so what I've got here is, I've not updated this recently, but let me just show you this. So this is what I teach, and this is what we do in the live trading room. Trade the easy way. Sorry, it's scalperschool.co.uk. I'll give you the link. Now, if you go to this button here, latest trades, and scroll down, you'll see live screenshots of my trading account. So I lost money on oil. This CL, these are futures contracts. CL is oil, in case you don't know. YM is Dow. So I made a loss on oil that day, but I made 650 on Dow. These are just, I trade 3 accounts. This is just one of the accounts I trade. So what else have we got? This is a situation where somebody in my trading room has asked me why not now that is going up. I think I'm trying to make the point that somebody wanted to go back into a trade, and I was suggesting why they shouldn't buy it, and it's because the anchor system. I've not made that clear. Sorry, I thought that was clear on that. I didn't go into the trade because of my anchor system, and sure enough, it did drop. So you can't really see that. I've made a 350 loss on the Dow, 187 profit on the oil, 472 profit on Dow, 512, 559. So I made a profit on oil and Dow that day, and so on. The market, these are not massive profits because the markets have been a bit sticky. I did 1500 on this day, so I'll do bigger screenshots. I've realized, didn't realize until recently that they weren't that good. Right, now the program, if you're interested, it's a 4-hour program. So press the program button. It includes the golden anchor system gap strategies. There's two gap strategies, and they've had a major impact on the markets this week. And so we have the scalper score system entry. There's 3 types of entries we use. One is very common, one is very rare, and one crops up at a reasonable amount of time. So there's one very, very common entry system. And actually that worked there. That happened today on the Dow. Had you have taken that, you would have got about a couple hundred pips. So you've got a live trading room. There is an alert system used on an app for your mobile. There's a weekly preparation video, and so on. If you want to get involved, it's 575 for the program, which gives you a full month in the live trading room. And then if you want to continue to that, then it's £95 a month after that. Okay, if you're interested, there's the PayPal button. If you pay by PayPal, I can get all your details from that. So a confirmation email comes out, and then you're logged in. Okay, so if you want to involve, there's Q&A down here. Is scalping for me? What's different about scalper score, etc. There's a bit about me down there at the bottom of the page. Lovely shot, not. And so on. So it's all there. Have a look on that scalperscore.co.uk. Any questions? Dow seems to, Dow's definitely hit a bit of a problem here. So 600, 170 pips was available on that particular entry system today, and the oil is struggling as well. This is doldrums. This is where lunchtime in New York. It's 1:30 in New York, so hardly surprising that we're seeing a lot less activity at the moment. The other final thing is, in my trading, the other thing I do is I like to trade the close for the Dow. So I send out alerts about the close. If you're interested, you could do it via a video. You don't have to do a Saturday program. You could do a video if you wanted. That's an option for you. I've forgotten which date is the next one. Showing, so just have one on the 9th, 23rd. When's that? That's Saturday week, isn't it? Okay, if you want more information, let me know. It's been a great day's trading today. Yesterday was tricky, but we did make a profit yesterday once we let the market set up. Okay, I do talk about entries in gold, although gold's a very thin market, so answer that question in a minute. The gold's a very thin market, so I don't tend to send out many alerts for gold. I tend to trade it on a bigger time frame as well. In fact, I haven't sent out an alert for gold because it hasn't set up in the way I like for over a week. I am getting very interested in gold, however. One of my members, who is an engineer by trade, did a study over 18 months worth of data. He went through the whole data for 18 months and his estimate is the system works for 77% of the time. The other aspect of the system is there is a pullback mechanism where if you, once we get an initial move, so we look for 25 pips on the initial move, then we look for, there's a certain criteria we look for pullbacks, and if that trade triggers our pullback, then we look for a 25 pip move and we take the next trade and we leave it open. Risk reward ratio tends to be, it can be as low as 1.5 to 1, but on the pullbacks, on the second type of entry we got, the risk reward ratio is something like it's a minimum of 3 to 1 on a pullback mechanism. Yeah, there's a PayPal link on there. So, any other questions? So, just to recap, we trade predominantly DAX and Dow, in other words, indices. We also look at oil and gold if they're setting up. They can be very volatile. We tend to trade the oil. We don't trade the oil around the events period. I've got a particular setup for handling the very, very volatile period of the week when we have inventories. Gas is seasonal, so we only trade that in mid-summer to early autumn. So I'm not trading the gas from now on, particularly as it didn't perform that well today anyway. And gold, I tend to do normally one or two alerts a week on gold. It can be more, can be less. Anybody who's interested in Forex, let me know, and I can do Forex alerts as well. But I don't tend to bother with them because the indices and the oil and gold are normally plenty of volume. So this price here of 650, I actually posted it. I can show you it's the posting. Let me show you the posting here. This is the alert room, and you'll see here, where is it? There it is, right in the middle there. I've said if 650 is tested and holds, I'll buy. So that's the alert I did, because the room was closed by then. We'd already taken a trade, got a really nice move. I told him exactly what I wanted as the time unfolded, and that triggered at an hour, just over an hour, about an hour and 10 minutes after the market had opened. A lot of people in my trading room do trade CFDs. A lot of traders do trade CFDs and spread betting. I know fewer and fewer people seem to spread bet these days, but no reason why you shouldn't trade CFDs. It's just, I would recommend, ideally you need 2 screens to trade this. I mean, you can do it with one screen. You have registered with PayPal, okay. All the confirmation details will be going out to you tomorrow morning now. So it'll be with you before 10 o'clock tomorrow morning when our administrator's in. That's great. Any other questions? What I would suggest is, one thing I will do with everybody is if you get to the stage where you are wanting to trade the futures, and I would recommend this once you get to a certain level to switch to a futures account, I can train you as in the trading room, in the live trading room, without any extra charges. I can train you to trade futures, but that's further down the line. I wouldn't recommend you do that unless you've got absolute minimum of 1 year's experience behind you, absolute minimum. All right. Any other questions before I go? I'm feeling quite hungry now. It's been a busy day. But this is a sweet market. I'll tell you all about this, what this red line represents on the program, but it's very efficient. It's great. Right, thank you very much for joining me. Thanks a lot for coming along, and I'll be posting other free events. Once you hook up, everything will come across to you, and look forward to getting you in the trading room. The live trading room is great fun, and the alert system's running 5 days a week. So there's lots to do, lots to trade, and let's get going. All right, thanks very much. Have a good evening, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.